Hi, this is Magic on Tap. I'm Mikey, and today we're going to be taking a quick look at the rules. Okay, so let's jump right into it. First off, I want to address a ruling that's been overlooked in my testing of some of the latest decks that I've just made. So that deck in question is Jeskai Arc, and the other one is Tribal Soldiers. So the ruling that affects these decks and the way I've spoken about them in the deck text is the rule 508, declaring attacker's step. And we're specifically looking at the section 508.3, and I will be posting this in the description down below for those of you who would like to read it for yourselves, as I'm going to read it aloud to you. The ruling has come up from a comment that one of you guys posted, which I'm really kind of happy about, because it's one of those things where in Magic you kind of live and you learn. You want to learn as much as possible about the games so that you can play better games, really. So considering throughout all of my testing of both these decks this question never arose at all, it means that a lot of us may be making a similar mistake. So I kind of want to address it now, and if you're really interested in building one of these decks, I'm going to put this video at the beginning of both those deck texts. Hopefully you'll spot it, read through it, and notice the differences in the decks based off of what you see in this video. So the ruling reads, I'm just going to get my trusty phone out for this one, don't want to make any mistakes trying to do it from memory. So 508.3. If a creature is put onto the battlefield attacking, its controller chooses which defending player or which planeswalker a defending player controls it's attacking as it enters the battlefield. Parentheses, unless the effect that put it onto the battlefield specifies what it's attacking. End parentheses. Such creatures are attacking, but for the purposes of triggered events and effects, they never attacked, which in effect means that when in Jeskai Arc, when we use Alesha to cheat in from the graveyard, like reanimate our 2-power creatures, for instance, Geist of St. Traff, this is kind of the only creature it affects this ruling with, we will not receive the Angel upon it coming into the battlefield tapped and attacking for just that turn, after which, if it survives the attack and then we play it in the next combat step on our next turn, it can then bring in the Angel. But for the purposes of that combat step and declaring attackers, it will not trigger the event of creating that 4/4 flying Angel. Otherwise, it's still a really cool effect to kind of bring in that Ghost of St. Traff quite safely, that you wouldn't normally expect to be able to do. Usually, most people have a counter ability, they get rid of St. Traff immediately. But for now, it's hexproof, it comes into the field. Unless they can counter the triggered ability, then you're not going to get it. Then you've got it on the battlefield, effectively. Let's quickly talk about the latest deck on this channel, Tribal Soldiers. This affects 2 cards in the deck. The 2 cards it affects are Hanweir Garrison and Brimmas, King of Oroseko? Ososco? Or I don't know, I never know how to say that one. So, in effect, when we cheat these onto the field with the preeminent captain, they come in tapped and attacking as well. In both cases, we will not receive any tokens because of the previous ruling I've just read aloud. For all intents and purposes, they never attacked, meaning that we won't receive the 1/1 Vigilance Cat from Brimaz, and we won't receive 2 1/1 red humans from the Hanweir Garrison. However, we've got these creatures onto the field quite quickly and cheaply. Sometimes you're able to play, if you're playing on turn 5 in Tribal Soldiers, and you've got the Hanweir Battlements out, you can play the Preeminent Captain on turn 5, then cheat out another creature of any mana cost, and it's just really good to do. Now, even though we're not going to receive the tokens, which is kind of what we really want to do in Tribal Soldiers, it still gets our creatures onto the field. The only danger we put all of these creatures in, even in the Jeskai Arc build, is that they can die in combat. They can put a blocker in front of Geist, we can lose that. We can do the same thing here with Garrison and Brimaz. All these things are a risk that we take to get our creatures onto the field cheaply and more so throughout the game. Like, if I can put multiple creatures down of high cost without having to pay for their mana. Great. So at the end of the day, these decks aren't as powerful as I originally once thought, and it will show in the new matchup we're going to be playing through with Tribal Soldiers. But they're still really fun decks to play. I think the interaction between the cards is interesting. It's not something I've seen in the meta. I don't know if these decks are going to be highly competitive, but at the moment it looks like they're going to be a little bit weaker than before. But in terms of the Jeskai Arc deck, only one card is affected, or one creature is affected. If you want, you can change that out. We still get to use that Enter the Battlefield ability. And the same is true for Tribal Soldiers. I might post a new deck tech in the future looking at Tribal Soldiers again, but looking specifically Enter the Battlefield effects, like the Foundry Champion, who comes in and deals damage equal to the amount of creatures we control to attacking player or creature. Sorry, not attacking player, but the creatures that we have on the field. Calculates how many we've got, deals that much damage to the opponent or another creature. So yeah, there's still really cool interactions with these decks with cheating out these creatures. But for now, apologies to anyone who has started playing these decks and is now in a position where they kind of feel a bit like, I don't want to play it anymore. They're still really fun to play. The 3 cards that you change, or 2 in one and 1 in the other. For Geist of St. Traft, there is a creature card. I'll bring it up here because I can't remember off the top of my head. But there's one I was using in the playtesting originally, which makes target creature unblockable. So when that comes in, enters the battlefield, it'll make target creature unblockable. So I'll place that like here, right here. And then for Hamlet Garrison and Brimaz, I still think they're really important in the deck, especially if we want to get wide later on anyway, because the decks aren't designed to, well, they are designed to cheat in creatures, but at the same time, these lower level creatures, the lower mana cost creatures, the 3-drop creatures, are designed to just be played off the bat anyway. We really want to cheat in those bigger creatures, like the Foundry Champion or the Blaze Commando. Those are the creatures we want to be cheating in because they are higher cost, and it just means that we can get them out a couple of turns earlier. So all I've got left to say is thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time, making sure you've always got magic on tap. Hi there, guys. Really quickly before I go, over here, we're going to have the 2 deck techs we've just been talking about in this video. So we're going to have Tribal Soldiers as well as Jeskai Arc deck techs, and also just below this window we're going to have a massive subscribe button. Thanks again, guys. Bye bye.